Passage 4. Questions 11 through 14. Listen to a discussion in a physiology class.
Now, we're going to review the information on various types of fractures, or broken bones. Yesterday, we talked about 3 types of fractures. Do you remember what they were? Claire?
They were simple, compound, and green stick fractures.
Yes, exactly. Now, can you tell me how a simple fracture and a compound fracture differ? Are they different because of the number of fractures? Dave?
No. The difference between a simple and a compound fracture refers to how much damage there is to the tissue around the broken bone, rather than the number of breaks in the bone. In a simple fracture, the bone is broken, but there's little damage to the tissue around the bone. In a compound fracture, the bone is broken and there's a lot of damage to the tissue around the broken bone.
So, how much tissue damage is there in a compound fracture? Gail?
A lot. In a compound fracture, the broken bone actually comes through the skin.
So when we talk about the difference between a simple and a compound fracture, this doesn't refer to the number of breaks in a bone. Instead, it refers to the amount of tissue damage. How do we refer to the number of breaks in a bone? Claire?
To talk about the number of breaks in a bone, we talk about a single, a double, or a multiple break. A single fracture means 1 break, a double fracture means 2 breaks, and a multiple fracture means more than 2 breaks.
Okay, I hope this distinction's clear, that we talk about single, double, and multiple fractures to refer to the number of fractures, and simple and compound fractures to refer to how much tissue damage there is around the break. Now, we have just one more type of fracture to discuss, and that's the green stick fracture. Dave, can you tell me who generally suffers from green stick fractures?
Green stick fractures are usually found in children.
That's true. And what is a green stick fracture? Gail?
A green stick fracture means that the bone bends, and maybe it breaks part of the way, but it doesn't break all the way through. The name green stick refers to a young green plant that might bend instead of breaking.
So, is a green stick fracture a very serious fracture? Claire?
No, a green stick fracture is usually the least serious type of fracture because the bone isn't broken all the way through. The compound fracture, where the broken bone comes through the skin, is the most serious type of fracture.
Number 11. How is the information in the discussion organized? Number 12. Drag the appropriate description of each type of fracture to the box below the type of fracture. Number 13. Which of these are true about the number of breaks in each kind of fracture? Number 14. Drag the appropriate description of the seriousness of each type of fracture to the box below the type of fracture.